to From the Hilltop. This is episode 4, and today we're going to be discussing marriage and single life. Stay tuned and be prepared to listen to some exciting stories. Hi Kelvin, hi Mike, nice to have you on. Got a few questions for you guys, so we'll just have a little discussion. How do you deal with loneliness as a single Christian?
That's a good question. I feel like from a young age, I always struggled with loneliness because my parents divorced, my dad was out of the picture. Going to university, I was in a space where I was by myself, so at times I would feel the void of not having someone there to be able to relate to.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me personally, I found keeping active with activities, sports, going out with friends, attending church activities helped me to kind of keep my mind off things. But I'll be honest with you, at times it does get difficult because when you feel like you are missing something, there is always a question of how can you fill that void, or how can you find someone to be able to share things with. But I think the good thing about it is knowing that God had his perfect plan and his perfect timing for me allowed me to be patient even through that time and that season.
Okay.
I don't know how it's like for you, Mike.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I think for me, loneliness was like, how can I describe loneliness? It was like, I don't know, I feel like, I definitely agree with you when it says that, like, when you say that, like, sometimes it's difficult to find that someone or find that something to keep your mind occupied with when you're lonely. It's definitely like, I thought that's always been a difficult thing, but I think with being lonely, like, I've never really like accepted it in a way. Let me say it like this, yeah. I feel like there's two scenarios that can come up. That someone could accept being lonely and say that, you know what, I'm lonely, this is just the life that's been chosen for me, blah, blah, blah. And then I feel like there's another life where you could say, for example, like, I'm not going to allow loneliness to like affect me and I'm going to just like move forward type thing to an extent. That's how I've always thought about it and I've always been allowed.
That's interesting. I think from my perspective, I don't think I've had much time to be lonely. I'm always busy. 24/7, whether I'm teaching, sorting out the kids, being a wife, preparing lessons and church activities, because let's be real, I attend a lot of church activities. So I feel like I don't always feel that I have that time to be lonely. So yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a hard one really.
Yeah.
But I think different people have different opinions and different thoughts about loneliness, because you can categorize loneliness into many different sections. For example, are you lonely in marriage, or are you lonely as a single person? Do you want that company? Like, you know, when you get to a certain age and let's say you've been married for like 40 years and your spouse passes away, that person is automatically going to be lonely, right? Because they're used to that person. They've been with them for a lifetime. So actually, they just want that companionship. So you can have that type of loneliness as well. Okay, have you ever felt pressured from your family, your church or society to like get married? So does anyone ever say to you, oh, Mike, when you get married, what's going on?
Yeah, no, definitely. And naturally, I think growing up in a Nigerian household, a Yoruba to be specific household, it's always like, when are you going to marry? Obviously, there's definitely...
Any single ladies out there? He's on the shelf.
But obviously, growing up in a Nigerian household, though, specifically Yoruba, I've seen a lot of girls get a lot of stick on this as well. But sometimes guys as well, we're just expected to like have our stuff together type thing very, very quickly. And then once we come out of university, for example, we're expected to just like the normal order of life basically is then find a wife straight away or quite quickly after university, or get a mortgage, then find a wife. So yeah, no, there's definitely been there's been things there and things said, but never actually pressure. I think for me personally, I've never actually received pressure. And even if I do receive pressure, I don't really take it on board type thing, because I just feel like I understand the gravity of how big marriage is, and that's not something I'm ever going to take lightly.
Marriage is a long life commitment.
For sure.
I've been married for 10 years now. A long time. And you're about to get married.
I am indeed. Yeah. Later this year, I'll be a married man.
That's proper.
You know, and I think you have to make sure that you're there for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that is your partner now. That is your best friend. So I look at my husband as not just my husband, but actually my best friend. Someone that you can confide in and literally tell everything to. So that's something that helps with not feeling lonely. You need to have that, you know, that trust and that confidence in them. Do you believe that there is a right age to get married? Why or why not? Do you think there's a right age to get married?
It's a good question. Kelvin, what do you think?
Me personally, I feel like to a degree, I would say yes, and to a degree, I would say no. The reason why I would say yes is because coming from a traditional and a cultural background, before you get married, there's certain things that our parents would want us to have achieved, such as, let's say, going to university, having a secure job, having the means to be able to provide, especially as a man. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if you are quite young, unless you have that already, it might take a bit of time before you put those things in place, because marriage is not just about you and your partner, it's about growing and building a family together. So I think there has to be that level of preparation that goes into it, and that takes time. Mm. So I would say for me, definitely yes. And I would say for me, the age that I would say, because usually most people finish university by 21. So I would say going from 21, 22, that's when you should be thinking about.
21, 22?
What, for the man or the woman?
I would say for the man.
And then how old the girl?
The girl, I feel like, could be a little bit younger, depending on how mature she is.
Yeah, because boys, let's be fair, boys don't really mature at that age.
You know what I mean?
Heard you.
So, I mean, I'm just saying.
So, Mike, when you find the wife, like, you know what I mean? Just make her be a bit younger? Or?
Something like that.
You should be on that same maturity level. Wait, are you and your partner wife to be the same age?
Roughly around the same age, yeah.
Okay, do you know what? To be fair, I take that back, because me and my husband are very much the same age.
I think same age is calm as well. Same age is...
Yeah, same age is nice. But
to be fair, even older as well, do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, when it comes to love, I think sometimes in like society, we've made it like this stigma of like, the man has to be older. Mm. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of like advantages of a man being older. But also equally, like, God's never specifically said that the man must be older as well in the Bible, unless someone can tell me otherwise. I've never seen that. And I've seen other relationships and marriages work when the man is like a month younger or 2 months younger, or even like a week younger. Like, we do see that as well.
That is true. Definitely true. I always said to myself that I wanted to be married by the time I was 26, 27. And I got married at 27. That's what I wanted. That's what I got. And I think it depends on your mindset as well. Like, you know, I think I kind of put an ultimatum to my husband. And this is what I wanted. And it was like, okay, so we're either getting married or we'll see you later. And not quite like that, because he would have said bye to you, but he didn't. So yeah, sometimes I feel like women will try to pressure men a little bit more, especially because of what they may want. And if they're not getting it, the pressure kind of intensifies. And that's just the way some women are.
100.
So, yeah. Okay, my next question is, how do you know if God is calling you into marriage or singleness? Because do you know what? Do you think that everybody's supposed to marry someone?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you know God called you to marriage?
So for me personally, I've always had that kind of idea that I wanted to get married. I know that before I've experienced being lonely, but I think it came to a point where God was like, let me fill that void, but still I would want you to have a relationship with someone. So I wasn't getting married because I was alone, but I was getting married because God was leading me into that stage and that season of my life. Because I remember thinking that, oh, marriage will fix everything. Marriage does not fix everything. As you said, you can be married and still feel those kind of loneliness. But I feel like for me personally, in terms of how I want to view my future, in terms of building a family, in terms of leaving a legacy, in terms of just having someone that I can share things with, I feel like marriage was the right thing for me.
Okay. Mike, what do you think of online dating apps for
Online
Christians?
dating apps. I think it's...
Have you been on one?
No, like, I haven't been on one, but I think it's calm though. I think it's calm because obviously, if you're able to find your perfect someone on an online app,
Have you
like,
ever tried it though? What would you try?
if I felt like I was getting to like plus 30, for example, or plus...
Wait, Faye's not old, you know.
That's not old. 100%. It's not old, but it's like if I was plus 35, then maybe. And like I just wanted to quickly find. So what it is with me is I'm quite like sociable, but I feel like online dating.
Social butterfly.
Yeah, like that's what people say as well. So I feel like online is very, very good. Not only for people who are unsocial, it's also can benefit people who are very, very social as well. But it's just like me, I've just never really like envisioned myself on it as of right now. Anyway, as of right now, who knows what can happen in the future though? Future, anything can happen.
That's true. Can you be too picky when you choose a spouse or a right
Hold on. Going back to the original question you asked, go back to it. Say it one more time.
Which one about how do you know if
Single or married?
Yeah, if
because some people like are called to be single. I don't know if that's what you wanted to.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to talk on. So obviously my thing with that, is like I feel like without being like controversial or anything, a lot of people aren't actually willing to like accept singleness for their life. If we're being completely transparent, that's the first thing I'm gonna say.
I think it's a certain type of person.
Definitely. What do you mean? Explain.
Like my auntie, for example. Sorry, auntie. She got married, and whatever happened, happened. But then she separated, and then she's just comfortable in her own self, and she's been single for about 35 years. And she doesn't want anyone. She didn't. So when I was out there one year, I bought her a dog. So just not for like in Cyprus, not because she was lonely, but like a little bit of like company.
Yeah, of course.
And 15 years later, the dog is still alive and kicking. But that's her companion. Like that's
100%.
Do you know what I mean? They often say like a dog is a man's best friend. I've heard that before.
I haven't heard that one, but okay.
You haven't?
I've heard that
I'm showing my age now.
I've heard that one.
So yeah, and she's quite content. She's like very independent. She's very headstrong. And I think I do carry some of her characteristics as well as my mum's. So yeah, she's just happy. So that's why I feel like sometimes people are not always meant to be married.
Yeah.
But then the Bible kind of does say it's not good for man to be alone.
It does say that.
But I know, no controversy here, just
100%.
a little chat.
And obviously in Genesis it talked about procreation. But obviously what I am saying though, to summarize what I was saying, was that with singleness, I felt like for me, I might be called into singleness for the rest of my life. Who knows, do you know what I'm saying? Only God can continue to reveal that to me.
Not after this podcast, they're going to be queuing up.
Queuing up. But obviously, I feel like...
like and comment and let us know.
Hey, Anton. Take me.
He wants to leave.
Yeah, with the singleness thing, I think certain people is like the way to ID. Sorry, that's it. You're like, how do you identify? That was the question. So my thing is like, if you are gonna become in a relationship, if you've seen a man or a woman that you're interested in, if being in that relationship takes you away from God, I think that's a very, very big sign of should you be in that relationship? Now we can all quickly come and say, oh, pray on it. Someone comes to ask us, we quickly say, pray on it. Obviously, it's never a cop-out answer to say pray on it, because that's what we should actually do. But sometimes it's like people really do value tangible advice, things that they can do. Praying on it is tangible. Before someone comes and says, why did he say, no, praying on it, definitely pray on it. But also people like something actionable on top of that. And I think is that relationship taking you away from the presence of God?
That person can fully take you out of your relationship with God. And actually that person could also be imposing that they're a Christian and probably accept like Jesus as their Lord and personal Savior. But over time, when you become comfortable with that person and they've taken you out of your Christianity because you now start to pray less, you're not really going to church, you become blindsided, like literally blindsided. And actually, what I will say is, if you're not supposed to be that person, although you've gone through the steps that you might have got married, you might have had a baby, etc., and if that person has still taken you out, I'm telling you, God will find a way to bring you back. 100%. I've seen it.
100%.
So I do think that sometimes we need to be a bit more sensitive to the Holy Spirit. Also pray without ceasing. And obviously faith without works is dead. So yeah, I think it's a hard one, but at the same time, I think we need to be ready to listen to what God is saying to us,
100%.
not being afraid to take any steps. And actually sometimes if we do get things wrong, it's okay.
I think that's why it's so important in your singleness to be intimate with the Holy Spirit as well. As we say, pray in that time of singleness, so that when someone does come, you're continuously praying on it as well. So
For that person that you want, right?
For that person, and also for God's will to be done. So it's like, God, if this is the right person,
Then show me.
yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
And I will say that, ladies, that you are supposed to be your husband's helper, and you're there to kind of support. And one thing that I've also learned from like marriage and life is sometimes it's okay. Like we as women have a very quick tendency like, oh no, don't do that, it's not going to work out. We have like some sort of, I don't know, some instinct. But it's okay, let him make the mistake, because that's how they learn. Although it might be very difficult. I learned the hard way. Just let them do what they have to do.
I agree with that.
So, you you can't just trap a guy as well. You need to give a guy space. And I think that's one reason why communication in marriage doesn't always work, because the woman always tries to control things a lot of the time.
You said you put a trap earlier. You said you put an ultimatum.
Yeah, I did. No, but we both, do you know what? He wouldn't have married me if he didn't want to marry me.
Of course. And before you even say anything after that, yeah, as a man as well, Kelvin, you might even be, you will be able to vouch me on this. As a man, you know very, very quickly if you want to marry a girl that you're speaking to or not. Very, very quickly.
But how though? Like,
this is free game as well, huh?
How do you know?
Free game as well.
You know what?
A guy knows.
Yeah,
very
I feel like.
What, do you feel it?
Let me ask you a very simple question like this, yeah. If I was to put £1 million in someone's, if I was to say, if two people are going out, yeah, they're in the church, they're in the confinement of a church door, and I say, I'm going to give you £1 million, for example, but if I give you this £1 million, it means that you have to marry the person tomorrow. If they say no, chances are, might be controversial, chances are they potentially see a flaw in them as to why they don't necessarily want to marry them or something like that. But if the answer is yes, chances are that's who they actually want. Do you get what I
So
mean?
I'll offer you £1 million then.
Right, but Kelvin, you don't agree with that?
No, I do agree, because I feel like, especially as a guy.
But if someone put £1 million right now, you would marry your partner tomorrow,
But
today.
the thing is, I would do that without even the £1 million.
But 100%, of course, but it's like the £1 million is like, there's no excuse now, basically. That's why I'm saying £1 million. Yeah. There's no excuse.
Yeah, I feel like definitely, because...
Is that how you're saying that you know that person is the one that you want?
No, nothing to do with this. The guy just knows, like, the guy will just know.
But how do you know?
How I'm single, innit? So
for me personally, I think I'm someone who growing up, I've not always been decisive, but it got to a stage that I feel like when you see something and you want something, you go for it. And when I had that mindset, I didn't want to waste time. I didn't want to allow things to go one further when I knew this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, because there's that possibility of losing her.
Exactly.
But you see, sometimes men are too scared to make that jump and say, do you know what? She's what I want, and I need to go and get her. Like, obviously, I need to seek God's advice
I don't know if
first.
it's scared or, I think some men, they've got like a...
Procrastination is what it's
No,
called.
it's that. I think it's like some men have like a doubt in their head, and that's what's stopping them from moving forward. It's not necessarily that they're scared.
Or they could have been hurt before. Got you thinking, didn't they?
Slightly. Slightly.
So my question is, for example, as a single person, to you, Mike, how do you deal with, let's say, past relationships that haven't previously gone the way you wanted it to, and how does that affect or shape you moving forward in terms of future relationships?
Yeah, I think like everything was a learning lesson. And I feel like continually using the principles that like I learned previously, and also using the Bible as my guide as well to all future relationships as well. I think that's definitely like paramount as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Another thing as well is when I was younger, I thought I knew more than what I know now. But I'm always a student of life. I'm always learning. Like, God's always by my side. He's always teaching me more and more every single day. But I just need to draw closer and closer to him. So I feel like when I was younger, I thought I knew. I thought I was larger than life. I thought I knew everything. Now, do you get what I'm saying? The more I'm growing up, the more I'm like, I need to just continuously lean on God more and more.
I hear it.
Guys, so that's a wrap for today. Thank you very much for listening to our podcast. Stay tuned because episode 5 will be on the way very soon. Take care.